I've recently found out in Valorant that doing these aggressive plays, especially towards mid, not only is it super fun, it can also be super rewarding. Now, of course, it is calculated risk. We wall off anyone who would be left in main, then we flash through the smoke. We kill the guy, we flash through the smoke again, he's nowhere to be found in the open, so we molly him in the corner. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Happy and I'm an immortal high-level coach. In this series, I help you improve your game sense and talk about how to get an advantage on every single fight that you take. If you're tired of being stuck in the same rank, I strongly suggest joining the premium tier of my group, which will be linked down in the description. Inside, I talk about the purpose of every single role, how to learn a new skill, and most importantly, how to play your character. So if you're someone who's serious about improving in Valorant, I suggest you join. Let's get to the video. My Jet dashes in without thinking and he gets trapped by Vice without thinking. He could have baited the wall and stuff, but we have to work with what we have. On the minimap we see that Reina is stuck. We hear her run into the open, so we molly off her escape route, we wall off anyone trying to help her, and then we flash to get an advantage on the fight. It's a 2v2 situation and we don't know where the enemy is, so that's why I'm trying to play with my Omen. After seeing that I cannot really trade him from staying in main, I come and group up. This way, anywhere he gets peeked from, I can peek out and trade him. And whenever there's not a lot of clock left on this spike, you want to not give the enemy the 1v1 and just wait until the spike ticks down until he has no choice but to surrender. Enemies don't have that much money, that's why we buy Outlaw. This way they're not gonna be able to buy full armor and they're gonna die to a one tap in the body. Also, when you're playing Summit, you should go mid more than average, and especially when enemies have 2 sentinels. Similar situation here, we do have sight, that's why I'm not afraid to go for the ult. Also, they don't have full armor, remember they're dying to one body shot from my Outlaw. Plus, I'm the one holding because we have sight, that's why my Outlaw will be even better gun than usual. It's just an insane advantage to have. Playing kinda safe because there's not a lot of time left again, but I forget that Deadlock can recharge his net. I expect either a spike defuse or a wide swing here. If he peeks slowly here, he's guaranteed to kill me, but then we're not sure if he defuses the spike. You can hear my teammate call out that Killjoy is 1 HP. At first I tried to trade my teammate by spamming through the smoke, but then after both of us fail, including Jet, I fake out that I'm pushing out and then hold a pixel angle. It's a 3v1, we do not want to give the enemy a 1v1, that's exactly what he wants. As you can see, he's holding us, so I put myself in a position where I can always trade my teammate. This clip had absolutely nothing to do with brain, I am not even going to lie. I just don't know where else to put this. We did do the flashing out to bait out someone peeking from a main, to give us a fair 1v1 instead of getting shot from behind. And then we have to push side, and then we flash ourselves, and then there's not that much time left on the clock, and Clove still has the reg, and Killjoy might still have the mollies, and I really should go for the 6k here. I don't know if I've ever had a 6k before. I don't know why I'm defusing. I mean, I should just kill him and get my 6k, but... 1 gen, 1 main. They have sight, they have the advantage, that's why taking this 1v1 is absolutely fine, and then we go for the flash expecting a guy to peek, because now he wants to look for 1v1s, and we're hiding behind Gen to bait him out into a 2v1. A lot of people don't know this, you should actually mask your footsteps with an incoming utility. In this case, my Clove pops the bubble, so I push with the bubble, and as you can see, Sova did not expect me to be there this quickly. After hitting this nasty shot right here, I decide that Chamber is probably going to be wrapping us from behind, so I wall off the spike and then I find that he's actually pretty far. We can stick the spike and defuse, so I go for the flash to delay, and then I wait until he peeks into both of us so that we can take a 2v1 instead of him picking us up one by one. It's weird because whenever I see that enemy Phoenix has ult, I would rather play retake than to give him a free 50-50. But I've noticed that enemies like to just swing into me, so I start to roll slower and take my time. And that's how 3 people ended up dying to a person that you don't even get a kill for. First of all, we are following Jet for an immediate trade. Don't flash because whenever Jet has knives, they like to go aggro. I mask my flash with the aftershock, molly off the smoke to see if anyone's there, and then I take this quick timing to kill and then kill. Enemies are always used to slow 1v1 fights, and you can really catch them off guard when scaling quickly. That's why if you're this Jet, you wanna get to cover first before scaling backside, instead of doing that immediately. Oh shit. Just like I got cover behind this left side wall before actually committing on the play. We're going for a nice little A split, and because my teammates don't need help, they literally face no one, I don't have to help them, so I preserve the space instead. Trust me, if they started to get cooked, like 3 enemies attacked them, I would go in and help them, but now I can fight for this mid control, which will be super valuable later on. As you can see, one guy just checked the mid space because he knows how strong it would be if I got behind him. A random advice: whenever somebody goes into the smoke and starts to spam, you should aim immediately where they would try to run away, because enemies start to run faster than we actually think. And super important, as soon as an operator's shot goes off, you have to go in there and trade your team. In this clip, we are fighting off of any information or distraction we can get. First, we have the flash plus Sova ult combo, then we relax a little bit because obviously they're going to be holding us. The second distraction is gonna be their own Phoenix wall plus their voice lines. So we go for a nice little jiggle and we pick up the enemies. Because they haven't smoked us off yet, we can just flash and fight. And finally, we don't fight anymore because it's a 5v3. We don't want to peek into 3 people solo. This killjoy is going crazy. We bait him out on this 180-degree crossfire, and then we expect this guy to be somewhere near. That's why I'm not just W-king and instead waiting for him to peek. Here's how powerful defenses can be as a duelist if you know what to do with your character. The idea here is that we mask our footsteps with the wall, and then we can flash and nobody expects us to be this close. Oh, 40 on both of you. And those aggressive plays that you do in the middle allow you to later hit crispy shots like this one. Because when you're going down the middle, you know that you can always get shot from a random position, which kind of makes your brain to get into this fight or flight mode, where you're always vigilant. Like normally I never hit this shot. Oh, one tunnel. I remember I made a breeze guide as soon as the update kicked in, and one of the ideas was that you can throw mollies and every single util backside. And look at how nice the molly was thrown in backside. The perfect corner molly. Once we finally take care of backside, which is what you should do on Breeze B side, we both have the same idea of picking up the Vandal. Now that we have the Vandal, we wanna reposition. And because it's a 2v2, all I can wait is for the enemy's mistakes and try to play with my teammate. I make sure that he's not dying alone by trading him, but my teammate doesn't make sure that I don't die alone by running away. And then talking how good he is. At some point I said that if you have 1 or 2 teammates on site, you sit there and fight like a good boy. And that's exactly what we're doing here. I didn't want Astra to die for free, so I tried to help her as much as possible. Yeah, so... You might be like, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. You know, sometimes you don't only have to learn from the one tricksters of their character. Sub Rosa likes to play Phoenix a little bit more, so you learn like where to flash, where to molly and shit, where to go. But then I watched Tarek play, and I noticed that he is way more fucking aggressive, and he takes these mini advantages of enemies not having any pop flashes. And I remember watching Tens just standing in front of the smoke, waiting for the execute, breaking every single utility himself, and then getting 3 one-taps. So I guess there's something you can learn from those players. What the fuck was that? Thank you everyone for watching. Comment down your favorite clip and I'm gonna respond to every single comment. Also, if you're serious about improving in Valorant, you wanna get even better game sense, join the premium tier of my group, link in the description. See you guys tomorrow.